What we've seen over the last 15 years or so, since the environment has started to become part of the humanitarian assistance framework, is that organizations have progressively included more aspects of the environment in the work that they do. Whereas years ago, it was really a question of looking at the environment after the disaster. Today, people are incorporating environmental issues directly into the disaster response. And this is good progress that's being made, but the challenge that we face is that it's not being made consistently. And there's not a real understanding of how considering the environment is actually core to providing successful humanitarian assistance. Both those who are affected by a disaster, but also the organizations providing assistance at the ground level, they may be actually doing things that are supporting improvements to the environment or minimizing negative impacts on the environment, just in the way that they do things, not necessarily changing a project's objectives. And so that's an area that we want to pay a lot more attention to in the future.
I'm coming back from Zahle towards Beirut. I work in different locations in Lebanon, so I have different movements, and my movements are having an impact on the environment.
So the initiative of vehicle sharing came out of very common sense and basic observation that NGOs were running the same journeys and on the same roads. Transport and mobility accounts for a big part of the NGO's budget. But not only, it also accounts for a big part of their environmental footprint. Therefore, engaging in such initiative of vehicle sharing allows to tackle both issues at once. So a car sharing scheme consists in increasing the number of passengers per vehicle. This allows the vehicle running on the road to be less. And this has two positive impacts. One on environment. We have less CO2 emission and as well as other gases emission. We also have less traffic jam and we have less noise. But it has also an impact on the costs, as it allows to reduce the rental or purchasing cost of a car. Its insurance costs, of course, but last but not least, reduce the fuel consumption cost, which accounts for a big part of the NGO's budget. So the initiative has been running for the last 5 months now. In terms of challenges, we have identified this can be narrowed to the main challenge, which is change management. It's true that for agencies, this initiative involves collaborating with other agencies. That's not always easy and not always a strength in our sector. But also for logisticians and for fleet managers, it means working another way. They were used to deal with their own fleet. Now they need to collaborate with other colleagues from other agencies. And last but not least, for passengers and for users, it also involves some slight changes into their habits.
It makes me feel less guilty to do so many movements per week. So less pollution, less negative impact on the environment. And sometimes it's nicer to have company in the car and to discuss and to share things with colleagues from other NGOs.
So because humanitarian organizations are pretending to serve the people that are going to be the most affected by climate change, it's important that they do so without contributing to the problem itself. Humanitarian organizations need to think about their environmental impact, like everyone else. They need to make the effort and to contribute to mitigating the problem.